What team is going to be willing to pay for him? We'll see. I don't believe that's the Lions. He does not want to be used in the way that made him successful and dynamic last year. Isn't that funny? What you're telling me is that you're willing to pay Deebo Samuel $25 to $30 million annually to line up in the backfield?
When he comes into Ford Field in a Green Bay Packers uniform and tears the Lions up, you can't come on here and say, damn, how come the Lions didn't get this guy?
The Lions, Terry, as some people would say, should give up the first round pick at number 32, and hell, they should trade number 34 for Deebo Samuel. I'll tell you what, Detroit, I'll tell you exactly what to do. This is not hard. This is not complicated. Listen up, open up your ears, and listen very carefully, because I will only say this once. Deebo Samuel is 26 years old. His first 2 years, he struggled to find any level of consistency in the NFL. And of course, in his third year under Kyle Shanahan, I don't want to call him a gadget player, but as somebody that lined up in many positions, he was very successful last year and was a big part of why they were able to get to the NFC Championship game. All right, fine. I got the compliments out of the way. Now into the reality of the situation. Detroit, you should not give up the first pick or the 34th pick or anything for Deebo Samuel. Why? Brad Holmes has spent now a year and a half working on fixing this disaster of a salary cap situation. And you want him to trade for a wide receiver that isn't a deep threat. That is, I would say, again, I don't want to criticize him and say he's a gadget player. I think he's very talented. But you have someone that can develop it maybe into a very similar role in Amon-Ra St. Brown, who is on a rookie contract. If you trade the 32nd pick, what you're telling me is that you're willing to pay Deebo Samuel $25 to $30 million annually to line up in the backfield? Well, reports are he doesn't want to be used as a running back because of the wear and tear on his body. All right, well, dude, you're not Cooper Kupp. You're not Devontae Adams. You're none of these players, and you've yet to prove that you can be one of those guys. So, trade for him with caution. I wouldn't give up the 32nd overall pick. I wouldn't give up the 34th overall pick. That's a deal I am passing on. You're going to have to give him top 5 wide receiver money. And wide receivers right now in the NFL are the third highest paid positional group on average. Wide receivers are getting paid. A.J. Brown's getting a new contract. Deebo Samuel getting a new contract. Devontae Adams got paid. These guys are getting paid. Detroit, you're not ready to fork up $25, $30 million to a wide receiver who's had one good year in 3 years and has had health issues. And on top of that, you're not going to use him. And he does not want to be used in the way that made him successful and dynamic last year. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny?
And you know
again,
what?
Go ahead.
It's funny. But you know what? We would have a huge argument today if not for one thing. When he said he didn't want the slash label anymore, I was like, oh, damn. That's what made him Deebo Samuel. That's what made him attractive. So, I'm sure San Francisco's like, okay, dude, you want to be a different player, then we will trade you and let you go. With that said, I might be willing to trade the 34 pick for him, but it's probably going to take 2 draft picks and somebody else to nab him. But I'm not willing to go multiple draft picks because, he doesn't want to be a slash guy. The guy that I saw last year, the guy that I looked at and said, man, this dude is rough. He doesn't want to be that guy anymore. So the problem with the NFL often is you are paying guys for what they used to be. You are paying guys because they won a Super Bowl somewhere else. They won it in San Francisco, LA, or whatever. And now I think Deebo Samuel, he's already telling you, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm going to be somebody else, and I want to come in for the same price. So our battle is muted today, brother, because once he made that decision, I'm backing down. But if he was still willing to be Slash, I would say, what the hell? Why not take a chance? The
You can
Lions
say why not take a
play
chance,
safe.
but I'll tell you what. Again, I'm a big believer in Ben Johnson, Terry. I think that this offense is going to take a step forward this year. But Kyle Shanahan is the most brilliant offensive-minded head coach in the NFL. I would say only Andy Reid challenges him. I don't know if Ben Johnson is capable of that. I don't know if he's capable. Well, actually, not that I don't know. I know for sure he won't be that this year. Could he develop into it? Absolutely. But boy, those are some long shot odds. And if Kyle Shanahan found these type of ways, along with Mike McDaniel in San Francisco, to get that slash production out of Deebo Samuel, and now he wants, even if he wanted to stay as a hybrid, well, this is the first year he was used like this. So now I have 17 games to go back and look how he was used. Were they deception plays? Was he used in motion a lot? How many times did he line up in the backfield? And teams would be, I would say, much more prepared. And on top of it, you're going to line him up on the perimeter. Good luck. Good luck, Terry. It's not going to work. It just isn't going to work, whether he was a slash player or not, especially at a $24, $25, $26 million annual price figure. I think that's ridiculous. And again, Brad Holmes has signed many players to one-year deals. He is fixing one of the biggest issues this football team has had, which is their salary cap. And you're going to trade a fifth-year option rookie contract at number 32 overall, possibly, for what? A guy that'll get you, what, 1,200, 1,300 yards? Amon-Ra St. Brown was on pace down the stretch to have a 1,400-yard season. Had he played in the second half the way he did in the first half like he did in the second half of the season. And that kid was drafted in the 4th round. Michael Thomas, 2nd-round pick. Devontae Adams, 3rd-round pick. Cooper Kupp, 3rd-round pick. Stephon Diggs, 3rd-round pick. Wide receivers.
There's a big difference, though.
Go ahead.
Big difference, though. Deebo Samuel was getting 1,400 yards in clutch situations. He was playing for something. Amon St. Brown was not playing for anything. He was on a 3-13-1 team. So I would say that the yards that Samuel put up were more impressive than what the yards that Amon St. Brown would have put up. Simply because it's clutch time football, something we're not used to around here. But I'm a little surprised at you because you come on here every day. Ben Johnson, that's a bad mofo. And now you're saying that he couldn't unlock the greatness of Deebo Samuel if he came here to Detroit. If Deebo came here and wanted to be the slash guy, it's not brain surgery, brother. I think Ben Johnson is smart enough, creative enough to come up with a game plan that could make Deebo Samuel effective, to make him.
Look, I'm not saying he wouldn't be effective under them, but come on, there are levels to this. Ben Johnson is not Andy Reid. He's not Sean McVay. He's not Kyle Shanahan. He's unproven. And as much as I love the kid, he's got a lot to prove. And yes, wow, giving him a shiny toy. Wow, Terry, who could you draft at 32 that would be better than Deebo Samuel? You know what? You're probably right. This year, I'm probably not getting a player better than Deebo Samuel. I'm not just thinking about this year. The Lions aren't a 12-win football team this year. They still need a ton of help, Terry. And it would be, in my opinion, very irresponsible to go 24, 25 million on a guy who, in his first year, played 15 games. His second year, played 7 games. His third year, 16 games. And last year, his catch rate was the lowest it's ever been. So a guy that was making big plays, yes, was making big plays because I believe one of the greatest offensive systems the league has in Kyle Shanahan and the San Francisco 49ers. Again, I don't want to discredit the player. He's super talented, athletic. But that, I believe, is a situation of, man, that guy benefited from where he was, Terry. Not so much he was that guy coming out of college. We're not talking about a Justin Jefferson, a Jamar Chase, a guy that's an impact player coming out of the draft. What's the
So
difference
you don't
between?
want to disrespect the player, but you want to disrespect the coaching staff. You're saying they can't figure it out.
I'm not
And I
saying
know we've talked
no.
about this. This is
Go
a
ahead.
young man's league as a player and young man's league for coaching staff. I really believe they would be able to figure uh, Deebo out. But, one more time, I don't have a leg to stand on because if he's saying I only want to be a wide receiver, I'm out.
Yeah, look, we're gonna agree there. If he only wants to be a wide receiver, hell no. But I'm still no, even if he's willing to be a hybrid, because again, everybody's talking about his ability to play on the field. That's great. That's great. All right, you trade the number 32 overall pick for a 26-year-old wide receiver. He's still very young. He's got a lot of years left in the league. Well, if I'm not getting him for the slash hybrid position, well, he may play in the league longer. But let's say I'm extending him for a 4 or 5 year deal, $25 million a year. I am absolutely taking a complete dump on all the work I've done in the last year and a half. And to be honest with you, I don't believe Deebo Samuel is looking to come to a situation where he's going to be on a losing team because, well, welcome to the NFL. He's not getting a fully guaranteed contract. And I wouldn't fully guarantee his contract. I wouldn't even come close to some of the top wide receivers. Again, what team is going to be willing to pay for him? We'll see. I don't believe that's the Lions. I don't think they should do it. And everybody wanting him, good luck. I'm not paying him $25, $30 million a year. He's not that guy. He just isn't. And in a draft class last year, where you can see players like Jalen Waddle, Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, Amon-Ra St. Brown, players come out and produce instantly. CeeDee Lamb the year prior, Justin Jefferson. Come on, guys. This is a bit much. We're talking about a player that never came near 1,000 yards in a single season receiving up until last year. And it was an all-time year in targets, an all-time low in catch rate, 6 touchdowns receiving, 8 touchdowns rushing the ball. I'm sorry. He is a great flex player. I think he has tremendous value in San Francisco. And any team that trades for him, I think we're getting a good football player, not the Detroit Lions. A big pass for me. And you talked about me criticizing or not believing in the coaching staff. Yeah, that nobody on this roster has proven they are Kyle Shanahan, Andy Reid, or Sean McVay, or Matt LaFleur. Nobody has. So until they do, Terry, yeah, why the hell am I going to say, oh, plug and play Deebo Samuel? They're going to do just as good of a job as the greatest offensive-minded play caller in the NFL. Come on.
But yesterday you were talking about how great Ben Johnson was, so I thought maybe you thought that could be the guy.
I'm talking about how great he can be. Yeah, the kid has a lot of potential, and that's where the league is going. The league is going towards young, offensive-minded, innovative people. And I believe Ben Johnson can be one of them. That doesn't mean he is right now.
You're falling for the trap. This is not brain surgery. I know Kyle Shanahan and all these guys, Andy Reid, yes, they have a reputation for being great offensive minds, but they also have talent. They have talent that helps them. Talent trumps everything.
I'm not sure what talent we're talking about in San Francisco. What I see is a scheme that works tremendously, a zone run scheme that teams will never be able to figure out. Why, I still don't know to this day. Deebo Samuel, the only wide receiver on that football team. George Kittle injured a majority of the season. A running back by committee. They don't even have a feature back. They throw in a rookie last year, and he does the same thing the guy that was playing there for 2-3 years was doing. No, I think there's a big difference. Andy Reid, fine, yes, talent, tons of talent. But with Kyle Shanahan, again, this is a guy that has made Deebo Samuel a ton of money moving forward. And I think there's going to be a fan base and a team that's going to be disappointed when they get this player, realizing, well, if we can't line him up in the backfield, I'm not sure why the hell we're playing him.
Well, there's a very good chance he can end up in Green Bay with LaFleur and in Aaron Rodgers. So there's a good chance we could see Deebo Samuel tearing up the Lions twice a year. So that could be the offshoot.
Again, if he's not going to line up in the backfield and be a gadget player and run deception and run bubble screens and run end-arounds, yeah. No, not interested, number one. And number two, even if he did, Are the Lions in a situation, Terry, like the Packers are, where they're going all in to win right now? No, I don't believe that's the case. They still need a ton of talent. And to consider trading the 32nd and 34th pick, who could be 2 starters on your football team this year, for a wide receiver that you've already proven you can get one in the 4th round, who is in his 2nd year now. You've seen Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb. All these young wide receivers now are coming into the league and finding instant success. Why? Because you can't touch them. I'm not sure why Deebo Samuel.
All right, Cool Breeze, there's one thing you can't do now. When he comes into Ford Field in a Green Bay Packers uniform and tears the Lions up for 12 catches for 189 yards, you can't come on here and say, damn, how come the Lions didn't get this guy?
I'm not that kind of guy. He can do that, and I'd have no problem with it. No problem. Not for the Lions.